Yo, everybody, what is happening? What is going on? What is good? Hope you all are having a great day. It is a very windy, wet, and cold day in Glasgow, Scotland today. I have the flu, which means I'm not going out. I am staying indoors, which means I cannot vlog. So what I thought I would do, because I'm in the mood to make a video, I thought I would do a tutorial on how I edit my landscape photos, because I get a lot of questions from people asking me how I get the specific look that I have in my photos. I don't really use any filters or anything, guys. This is pretty much all just straight up like tweaking here and there and stuff. So I'm going to show you how I do all that now. But before I do that, guys, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It would be greatly appreciated. I always upload all my landscape photos on there. No selfies or anything. It is just pure hard work and amazing landscape photos of Scotland. Also, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because this is where I upload all these videos. And the more you subscribe, the more I will do more videos. And obviously you guys will know when I upload a new video. So go ahead and do that. I would be very grateful. Right, guys. So yeah, before I start going over the nitty-grittiness here, to be honest, whenever I take these photos, I kind of know how I want them to look. So I would say a good 70% of the look that I get is from the actual raw photo itself. So I'm very happy with this photo the way it is. I obviously know when I took the photo what changes I'm gonna make. So yeah, like I just have the color profile on my camera the way I want it to be when I'm out taking landscape photos. I've tweaked it over the years. So yeah, like I said, 70% of the photo is like the way I want it to be already when I take the photo. Now I used a Sony a7S Mark I for this photo with a Sigma 17 to 17 millimeter, what is it? Fuck. f2.8 to f4.5. So yeah, Sony a7S Mark I with a Sigma 17 to 17 millimeter f2.8 to 4.5. Yeah, so settings for this photo, ISO 100, just keep the ISO extremely low as possible to get that moody look. 41 millimeter at f3.5 at a shutter of 1/200th of a second, just because it just looked good. So that's why I had those settings. Now, let's go to the nitty-gritty, guys. Temperature-wise, it's looking a bit too brown and gray for me. So I'm going to have this at maybe, let's say 5,000 and let's go for 5,050. Now, obviously you see here it's gone a lot more greener, but it's a little bit green, right? A bit too green for me. So I'm gonna bring the tints up, introduce some reds in there. So I'm gonna go for me like an sorry, I keep saying F, a tint of plus 21. Now my exposure, just gonna bring the exposure up to maybe 1. So this is very exposed now. I might bring it down to like 50. Just, oh shit, whoops. Sorry. Here we go. 0.50, that's what I was meant to say. All right, let's go for 0.40 for now, okay? Contrast, always bring the contrast up. This is just how I like my photos to be. There's honestly no reason why I do, you know, why I increase the contrast the way it is and all that kind of, it just looks good, you know? And like I said, I already know what I want to do for this photo specifically. And to be honest, it goes for most of my photos as well, because I take them in a specific way so that whenever I apply these settings, it just looks how I want it to look. And that's just from, you know, time, man, and just like trial and error basically, you know. So you're gonna end up finding your sweet spot as well, so that you guys can do this. So anyways, now my highlights, shadows, whites, and blacks. Always I have my highlights and whites just pumped up a bit to maybe plus 27, and whites are like maybe plus 16. Yep, I like that. Shadows, I'm gonna bring these down to like minus 55, and the blacks to like minus 30. So here we have this really nice fucking just this like contrasty, moody fucking black shit, you know. So I like that. Now I'm gonna leave the clarity, the vibrance, and the saturation the way they are. I'm gonna introduce a bit of a fade here, because I always have I always have a fade in my photos, just to give it that nice little fadiness. So with the highlights, now for this, I pretty much just move them about and see where I like them to be. Now the highlights aren't doing anything, so I just leave it at 0. The lights, I'm going to bring that up just a tiny bit because obviously we can see here that the lights are making changes to this part here, which is nice. It's like a nice little S. So I'm going to maybe have that up at, actually, yeah, it's plus 97. It's a bit, you know, bit high, but it looks good. Darks, once, I'm not going to change it too much because I've already made a huge amount of tweaks here, the shadows and the black. So I'll have those darks at maybe like minus 10. And I'm just going to leave the shadows because I played around with the darks way too much. Now, with the color, I don't mess around with HSL. I just stick to color here. And yeah, so there are 3 different colors in this photo. You've got the oranges, the yellows, and then the greens. So we're just going to mess around with those 3 colors. Now with the orange here, I'm not going to do much because it's mostly the yellows. I already know that the yellows are going to make a huge difference to the color. So see there, by changing the hue, it changes it to orange, and you know, that nasty ass green color. Whereas with the oranges, it's not really going to affect it that much because there's more yellows than there are oranges here. So I'm going to make slight changes. I'll keep the hue at +3. The saturation, bring it down. Let's go for maybe minus 20 is nice. And the luminance, just leave it the way it is. So the yellows, this is where a lot of the changes are going to be made, right? So I'm going to bring the hues down to give it a bit more of an orangey feel to the yellows, so that they're just a lot more prominent. Let's go for minus 20. Yeah, I like minus 27. That's nice. And then the saturation, I'm going to bring that up because once again, I said I want it to be more prominent. So let's go for like a plus, yeah, plus 11 for now. And then the luminance, let's make it stand out more. I was actually going to bring them down, but let's bring them out more and have it like plus 21. So that's quite nice. Green, I'm going to change these quite a lot because I like the greens the way they are, but I just want to see if I can change it and make them slightly more blacker looking. You'll see what I mean. So what I'm going to do is change it, instead of making them brown, although that is quite nice, I'm going to bring them up to make them more distinguished, so plus 55. Saturation, obviously these I'm going to bring them down because this is where the changes are made. So see, if we bring it up, right, it's a lot more greener. You can see here in this color spectrum, whereas here is a more blacky color, and that's what I want my greens to look like, right? So I'm going to bring them down to maybe minus 75, 76, whatever. And then the luminance, going to bring that down as well to about maybe minus 35. That's looking dope. I really like that. And then with the split toning, I'm not going to mess around with the highlights. I keep the highlights the way they are. I'm going to change the saturation, the shadows, right? By obviously increasing the saturation here. So let's bring that up to like maybe a minus 15. Now, what I'm going to do is, with the hues, I'm just going to move it and then see where I like it. And then just stop there and then see what it looks like. So I'm not taking that too green and just too disgusting. Let's keep it going. Right, this is sort of looking the way I want it to be now, right? But it's a bit too blue. So I think maybe at like 2, okay. So 250, maybe there we go. That's nice. I like that. That is dope. So I'm digging the way that looks. I'm gonna add some grain because I always like to add grain to my pictures. Let's give it 25. And yeah, it's a little bit underexposed, so I'm just gonna maybe bring up some of the, not the blacks, because that's increasing the fade too much. Shadows aren't really doing anything, so I'll just leave them the way they are. Maybe the darks here. Yeah, there we go. So +6. And I will increase the fade one more time. There. I like that. Bring the saturation down a tiny bit more. And what I might do is, see these yellows here? I might bring up the saturation up a little bit more just to make it more prominent. Yes, I'm digging that. I'm very, very happy with that. Guys, that is how I edit my landscape photos. So if you enjoyed this tutorial, once again, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated. And also follow me on Instagram. I will be forever at your disposal if you do that. Yeah, guys, if there's any other type of tutorials that you would like me to go over, please let me know in the comment section below. If you have any questions, once again, ask me them in the comment section below. I will answer them because I'm a very nice guy. Aside from that, guys, that is pretty much it. So have a great day. Have a blessed day. Peace.